Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try to speak loud. I don't think I'm going to come across that microphone very well because of my voice. I have a slight lisp, so I'm going to speak loudly. If you can't hear me, just tell me, and I will use the microphone. You cannot hear me? My name is Alex Cummings. I'm an attorney. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I have a wife and 4 children, ages 28, 29, 19, and 20. I've been happily married for almost 31 years, and I'm here today because of my interest in this topic of annulments, and because I've been asked to present my comments and my thoughts as a layman, as a Catholic married man, and as I see the annulment picture in the Catholic Church today. The attack on marriage and family life within the church establishment has coincided perfectly with that being carried on in the secular arena. With characteristic hypocrisy, the Holy See has voiced its half-hearted dismay at the great number of declarations of annulment granted by local ordinaries, while diocesan marriage tribunals issue them with a liberality similar to that with which the American government spends money. Only the most naive can be blind to the fact that those in power in the church want to destroy the Catholic family and Catholic morality generally. Sexual license among Catholics is a well-known fact. The truth can be said simply. Generally, Catholics are no better than pagans. No serious effort is being made to discourage mixed marriages or the remarriages of divorcees. Quite to the contrary, the clergy do all they can to encourage them. This is logical, of course, since Catholics are bound to prefer non-Catholics, liberal non-Catholics, that is. As there is no spirituality to speak of in the Catholic religion, so ideas such as chastity, modesty, and virginity have gradually become vague concepts to its votaries. By now, there is simply no room for the spiritual life in a liberated male and female. It is considered to be a mark of maturity and sophistication for a man to be sexually adventurous. And if they are not to be unequal, women must be similarly shameless. Modesty has given way to the chic of pagan fashion, while purity is a sign of timidity, backwardness, and self-repression. It cannot be that such notions would contribute to the fostering of the traditional ideal of Catholic marriage. Hence it is that the ideal has been lost. Few Catholic people have either the religious background or the training in virtue which might inspire the ideal among their children. Certainly, the Catholic Church is militantly opposed to it. Since the Catholic Church is a humanistic organization, its approach to marriage has had the same effect that paganism has on everything it touches. In the name of charity, the Catholic Church dissolves marriages. The perversity of this activity cannot be overstated, as it vitiates the very definition of the marital union more radically than civil divorce does. Actually, its declaration of nullity, granted on the most spurious grounds, are lies, and not only make a mockery of the marriage state, but also bring scorn upon the Church itself. What possible good can all the Church ecumenical babble and busyness do when the world beholds this flagrant immorality. As time goes on, annulments will be made not on the basis of whether the marriage was valid, but on the basis of whether the church can grant it without drawing too much scorn upon itself, or perhaps without being hauled into court. Anyone can see that the more annulments that are given, the more will be sought. Every dissolution suggests to every married person the thought, if he or she can get an annulment, then I can get an annulment. Every dissolution makes a marriage of marital fidelity and family life. By its program of easy and fraudulent annulments of marriages, the church attacks the faith, the true church, every Catholic family, and the natural law. Few seem to realize it, but the net effect of this program is to make it impossible for a Catholic to enter a permanent, indissoluble marriage The panderers of these annulments are effectively destroying the very concept. The entire world is thus deprived of that challenging, sanctifying vocation which Catholic marriage truly is. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Alex. And now we'll have the third negative constructive.
I'm Greer Gordon. I'm a professor of religious studies at Regis College in Weston, Massachusetts, former director of adult religious education and marriage preparation for the Archdiocese of Washington, D.C., also a former director and the inaugural director of the Office for Black Catholics in the Archdiocese of Boston. My undergraduate degree is in systematic theology from the University of Dallas, which I think is significant to part of this audience, and also from the University of Notre Dame. I never in my wildest imaginations thought I would find myself significantly defending the right of the church to make decisions, and to make decisions within the construct of counsel. I think there are a number of tangential issues that have been presented this evening, whether we speak of the presence of one who is a member of a group that was started by the former Archbishop Lefebvre, or whether in fact we find the issue brought forth as to whether or not the church can legitimately make decisions in council form as legitimately convened by a pontiff with all of the bishops, which according to nearly 1987 years of Christian history, i.e. the Roman Catholic tradition, is the ordinary process by which councils do in fact act, but certainly would take us apart from this evening. I'm a teacher. The question is, what is an annulment? Why do we have it? How does it impact on human beings who have suffering in their lives? Many of us as laity are concerned about the legitimacy of our children, certainly those of us who have had our marriages annulled, or those of us who are looking toward annulment or found ourselves in divorce and remarriage.